Have you ever thought about joining the United States military? For most of you, the answer to that question would be no. Less than 1% of the population of the United States is currently serving in the armed forces. The United States Army was born on June 14th, 1775. 241 years and 177 days later, I became the newest member of the United States Army. Some people may not know what all the patches on a United States Army soldier's uniform mean. However, being in the Army for the past 2 years, I have obtained the knowledge and understood the importance of patches, and more specifically, unit patches. Wearing the infamous Red Bull on my left arm and dressing in my ASUs with the Bearcat pinned to my beret will give any soldier the sense of pride and honor that have been brought to the Minnesota Army National Guard and the 2nd Combined Arms Battalion, 136th Infantry Brigade for a long time. The Red Bull has been seen as the most powerful and efficient Guard unit in the nation. The Minnesota National Guard tends to keep pace with active duty units and completes the same amount of training in 60 days every year, in which it takes active duty 365 days. The Bearcat is a symbol of the Combined Arms Battalion, which has outperformed most active duty units and continues to pour out the top tank crews in the United States Army. The Red Bull has been an infamous patch for a long time and had not believed that the Minnesota Guard was so much better than other states and active members until I'd seen it myself. In the fall of 2018, we headed down to Fort Bliss, Texas, and we went on the field to take on the 30th Infantry Brigade out of South Carolina. They brought a brigade full of tanks, which equals about 43 full crews. The Red Bulls, or my unit, brought only a battalion, which equals about 12. For 15 straight days, we went through many different iterations of war scenarios and fighting. They brought out all 53 tanks, returned to their Alpha Alpha, which is their home base, with 0. We returned back to our Alpha Alpha with 11. We only lost 1 within the first week. We had taken out the crews from South Carolina in a matter of a week, with only losing one of our crews to an airstrike. There was still 1.5 weeks of training ahead of us. They knew they needed help, so they brought in active duty units to cover their 12 tanks that had been broken down. We lost 2 more tank crews and neutralized the entire brigade once again. This is when I knew I was a part of a special unit. After seeing what the Minnesota Guard was able to accomplish in Texas, I strutted a little higher, knowing that the patch on my left arm was a sign of an unbeatable group of men and women. Last year, the Minnesota Guard had a higher average gunnery score than most active duty bases, with a preparation time of only 12 days. The active members get 6 months to train for gunnery, and we still beat them. Also, we use tanks that have less technological capabilities. The Minnesota Red Bull has a storied past and continues to outperform what is expected. Tanks. I'm a tanker trained to kill. Tanking in the 2nd Combined Arms Battalion, 136th Infantry Brigade, has provided me with the expectations to be the best. Recently, my company shot gunnery in April of last year. One of our crews shot top gun in the brigade, which means they have the highest score neutralizing threats downrange. The Bearcat signifies a unit that has fought in World War II, wrapped with a banner that reads Rex Montes, which stands for King of the Hill. In the name, it states that we as Bearcats are the best at everything we do and cannot be killed. We are known to never quit and fight until we are the last one standing, or until we are, so to speak, King of the Hill. I had spent 3 months with a unit in 194 Cav, and they had not accomplished the same things that 2136 had accomplished in the past. Because 2136 had to downsize, they had to pick between Delta Company and Charlie Company. Delta Company had significantly better results in qualifications and physical training across the board, so Charlie Company transferred to a cavalry unit in the 194, leaving the Bearcats with better qualification results. Another great thing about being a combat MOS and taking the role of a tanker is the ability to wear tanker boots, which are different than combat boots. They are steel-toed and strapped, not tied. Being a Bearcat means I am the best at what I do and take pride in every day, and teaching the new privileged privates the same honors so they can carry out the storied past of the Bearcats in the future. When I put on my uniform, which has the Red Bull on my left arm, or dressing in my ASUs, which are our dress uniforms, which has the Bearcat on my beret, I know that I stand above everybody else. The Red Bull shows that we've prevailed over many enemies in the past and continue to outperform other members of the Army in everything we do given shorter amounts of training time. Dressing up in my dress uniform with the Bearcat on my head reminds me that I am the king of the hill, and I will work hard to keep showing that even though the Red Bull is great, we are the best. Rex Montes, I am the king of the hill.